I believe there are so many media queries that are sent to me all night. So minarapat na namin na sagutin kayo kahit generally lang dahil syempre, no, as you know, we cannot disclose fully our legal strategy. And as we said, hindi naman kami yung tipo ng mga abogado na gustong nakikipagdebate sa media. We would rather do this through the processes, no? And probably even in the impeachment court kung umabot doon. So yesterday, alam naman natin yung mga naging issues. It's the SALN, no? And then of course the AMLAC or AMLC report, and then all the others pa like yung SEC, BIR, and all that. So ang main focus naman kasi, and of course the testimony of former Senator Trillanes, no? So mirapat lang namin na sagutin yon sa inyo. Although, hihingi ulit ako ng paumanhin dahil nga hindi magiging madetalye yung sagot namin. One, dahil we only received the documents earlier today, this morning, at sa totoo lang, we haven't had the chance or the time to really peruse over all of these documents that were given to us by the House. And secondly, as you know, our position has been firm, no? And that's why we filed a petition before the Supreme Court questioning the proceedings. And thirdly, it's because kailangan malinaw sa atin kung ano ba talaga ang sakop ng isang impeachable offense. Diba? Very clear naman po sa Sara Duterte versus House of Representatives, yung huling desisyon ng ating Supreme Court ng impeachable offense only refers to offenses allegedly committed while the impeachable officer is occupying that impeachable office. So we're talking about 2022 to present. So, kailangan po malinaw sa atin yon. And of course, legally, kung pwede lang, we will confine ourselves to that. But naiintindihan ko naman, no, the questions that the public may have. And that's why we are here today, to try and answer all of your questions. So, without further ado, perhaps we can already start, no, with the questioning.
We will start with Ms. Camille Samonte of TV5.
Good afternoon po, Attorney Powa and to other lawyers. I'm Camille Samonte po from TV5. Sir, ano pong plano ng defense team kung paano nyo po dedepensahan? O, I know na nag-release na po ng statement si Vice President Sara Duterte denying the accusations of former Senator Trillanes and yung mga naging findings po dun sa kanyang SALN at ng AMLAC. Pero paano nyo, sir, yung dedepensahan kung sinasabi po ng bise na lahat ng kanyang pera, ari-arian ay idineklara sa SALN niya, pero hindi po nagtutugma doon sa findings mismo, doon sa mga dokumento na pinresenta kahapon, maging yung mga financial records and transactions po na ipinakita ng Anti-Money Laundering Council?
Opo. Actually, ma'am, yung salitang hindi nagtutugma is a conclusion in itself, no? Yan yung posisyon namin. Para po sa amin, actually, wala naman pong hindi nagtutugma. Perhaps it's just the way that things were presented. Obviously, as I said, we cannot disclose how we will defend the Vice President. But yung nangyari kahapon, of course, is something we already expected as a defense team, lalong-lalo na nung alam natin na nitong committee hearings, nababalitaan natin yung mga subpoenas. So, we were expecting those things, but yung gusto ko lang i-clarify, yung hindi nagtutugma, yan yung misconception na gusto nating maklarify today, no? Through responding to your questions. Again, we cannot go into details on how we will defend, but syempre, iba kasi. Ang point namin is yun nga iba yung pag nasa trial na tayo kasi at least doon, we can test the credibility not only of the witnesses but even the documents that are being presented.
Are you saying, sir, na yung mga pinresenta, for example, yung mga allegations po na ipinakita ng mga dokumento ni former Senator Trillanes is not credible enough kahit na nung tinanong po ito sa AMLAC ay na-confirm naman nila?
No, I like to correct that. No, I don't want also the former senator to also get a misimpression that I'm not saying it's not credible. What we're saying is we don't know, and we need to test the credibility of all these things. In fact, even in the Justice Committee, di ba, ang sinasabi nila, we're only here for probable cause. We're not here to test the credibility just yet. Di ba ganun din? So that is why kaya nga may trial. Kasi kung yung mga bagay na yan, credible na. So ano pa ang ba't pa tayo mag-impeachment trial, hindi ba? So, Kami talaga, we believe that pagdating ng panahon, kung talagang ito ay matransmit sa impeachment court, we are confident that we will be able to show na walang katotohanan yung hindi nagtutugma, no? Yung mga pinakita kahapon dun sa mismong salin. It's siguro I don't want to get into details, but I'm also not saying na kasinungalingan yung mga present kahapon. What I'm saying is the way it's presented. No, the way it's presented, doon tayo magkakaroon ng pagkakataluhan. Kung accurate ba yung presentation na gano'n.
Next, DJ Mendoza na 25.
Sir, I understand. Doon sa ano muna tayo, sir, sa may AMLAC report. Yung kahapon, namili, randomly pick ng 18 transactions, if I'm not mistaken. Then, parang tila sabi ng iba ay vindicated na si Senator Trillanes with those mga sinasabi niya ng unang pahayag before. Ano yung komento ng Vice President regarding dun sa mga naging pahayag nitong si Senator Trillanes and dun sa lumalabas sa AMLAC report?
Well, sa amin naman, we don't really want to comment on the vindicated or anything like that. Kasi ang posisyon talaga namin, vindication will come once it's all presented in the impeachment court and we're able to cross-examine all the witnesses and to test the evidence. No? Pagdating sa AMLAC, as I've said, it's a matter of presentation kasi. No? And I think marami na ring lumalabas na post. So siguro dadaanan ko na kahit papaano without going into the details. I think nakikita naman natin sa mga posts na the way the AMLAC numbers are presented, aggregate kasi yan. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng withdrawals mo, lahat ng deposits mo, pagdating sa inflow and outflow, pinagsama-sama. So, simplihan ko lang. Meron akong 1,000 pesos. Dineposit ko. Withdraw ko. Diba? Ang lalabas sa total transactions mo, 2,000 na. Pero actually, ang nasa bangko mo, 0 na. Diba? So, ganun kasimple, no? Now, and so, kaya sinasabi namin, na, again, hindi ko sinasabing maling AMLAC. I want to show due respect naman to AMLAC. But the way that AMLAC data is normally presented is that it is an aggregate of all transactions. Siguro, balikan natin yung 2017. Di ba, nagkaroon ng issue na dyan noon. At in fact, AMLAC issued an official statement saying na hindi accurate yung accounts in terms of account balances or what is actually inside the bank account of a person. Kasi aggregate yung ginagawang number. So lahat ng inflows dyan, lahat ng outflows dyan, ina-add up lang. Kaya may tendency talaga na maging bloated, no, yung figures. Kahapon rin may napag-usapan na edi inet na lang natin, 'di ba? Inflows minus outflows or outflows minus inflows net. So, yun pa rin yun. Nakikita ko yung point nun, no? And with due respect dun sa mga nag-raise, so nakikita ko yung point. But our point naman is, kung bloated na yung outflow mo, tsaka bloated na yung inflow mo, edi bloated din yung net, hindi ba? So, dun lang kami pinanggagalingan. Again, I don't want to go into the details na. But, para lang maintindihan ng taong bayan, na ganun kasi the way it's presented. Ina-add lahat ng deposits, ina-add lahat ng pumasok, bali sa account mo, ina-add lahat ng lumabas. But it is not determinative or conclusive as to magkano ba talaga yung nasa loob ng account. And we are talking about transactions that span over 18 years, if I'm not mistaken. No? Over 18 years. So, yun ang magiging, talagang para sa amin, it's bloated talaga ang number.
Sir, dapat bang pag-usapan pa sa impeachment yung SALN ni VP Sara nung mga panahon na Vice Mayor and Mayor siya?
Of course, para sa amin, hindi. No? Because obviously, ano ba ang purpose ng impeachment? Di ba ang basis ng impeachment is meron tayong impeachable offenses. Ang impeachable offenses ay offenses, again, committed while the impeachable officer is in office as an impeachable officer. So, ibig sabihin nun, doon lang sa time na vice-presidente siya. So, yung mga 2000, may 2005 pa ba? 2006, 2007, na hindi naman siya impeachable officer, hindi na yan saklaw ng impeachment proceedings.
Next is MJ Salcedo of Inquirer.
Attorney,
VP Sara just released a statement po earlier denying the allegations about the billions in bank accounts also hitting COA and AMLAC. Does the Vice President plan to say her latest statement in front of the House Committee on Justice? Will she ever attend the House Committee on Justice hearing on her impeachment?
Again, her attendance or should I say non-attendance is based on the position of the defense, no, regarding the jurisdiction or the lack thereof in terms of the type or the nature of proceedings that are being conducted. So, pagdating naman dyan, I think kaya nga sinapubliko na lang niya yung statement niya. Pero hindi ibig sabihin nito na ayaw rumisponde o sumagot ng ating Vice Presidente sa paratang. Parati namin sinasabi, alam ko medyo gasgas na siguro sa tenga natin yung appropriate forum. Pero naniniwala naman kasi talaga kami na kung talagang aakyat ito sa Senate impeachment, makikita nyo yung sagot ng defense sa lahat ng paratang na ito.
Bella Carriazo, The Philippine Star.
Good afternoon po. Earlier, nag-interview si Congresswoman Leila De Lima and ang sabi niya, yung 6.7 billion na dinisclose ng AMLAC, pwede daw mag-constitute as ill-gotten wealth kay Vice President. Ano po yung reaction niya dito?
Well, I respect Congresswoman De Lima, former Senator De Lima, and she's entitled to her opinion. No? Sa amin naman, ang plano lang namin is to show why those numbers are actually inaccurate.
And second question
And
po.
si Attorney Sheila would like to also add on to that.
Just in addition to what Mike had already said, I think what's important for us to understand at this point is that a mere presentation of supposed evidence before a committee that is not authorized to conduct trial does not really amount to proof. And the reason for that is really simple. It's because every evidence, whether it's something that you present in an ordinary case or in this case in an impeachment proceeding, must still survive scrutiny. And when does that happen? When does scrutiny happen? It happens only in a proper trial before a tribunal or a body that has jurisdiction to conduct trial. And that is something that the defense has been very clear from the very start. The reason why we had already stated that we will not be able to participate in a proceeding that we think is unconstitutional and goes beyond the powers that have clearly been identified by the Constitution to belong not in the House of Representatives or any of its committees, but in the Senate alone.